Hello, everyone. It's me, the Enlightened One, your favorite cartoon friend. Let's find out what the show's about.
You have reached the Magician's Assistant. If this is the Enlightened One, today's episode is... Happy Birthday.
Oh, no! I forgot! I better get on it!
So, what did the Enlightened One forget? I'm kind of confused.
I'm confused, too. They didn't say what the episode was about.
No,
So let me just say what the episode about. The episode is called, as our segment that we do every once in a while, it's called Stories with Friends, and this one's going to be comedy stories around the fire.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We've got plenty of stories to do. We've had to use our brain trying to pick some stories out which people's going to enjoy, going to laugh. I'm actually excited for this. Are you?
I'm very excited. And I'm, of course, the patron saint of all of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly, paranormal son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Whoa, proper bigging it up there. I absolutely love it. And of course, I am the Magician, and this is the only paranormal show made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans.
The only one, the only show.
There you go. How's your week been? Good?
It's been a great week. Just come back from my knee injury. I went back to work this week, and I got to tell you, my knee has been taking a beating. So that ibuprofen, as you know, as I call Advil. You're like, what the hell's Advil?
Yeah, we call it ibuprofen. But obviously, how long you have? What was it like the first day back? Was it weird? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always weird to go back first day, and just going out and doing my rounds takes a beating on because you're not used to moving around as much.
Yeah, you'll get there. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, are you actually glad to be back at work?
I am. But let's get into the show. What do we have on the show today?
Well, then, of course, we have two things in the vault. We have our Bull or Truth with our favourite Mr. Isaacs. And then for our main event...
You forgot the Paranormal Eats?
I did. I forgot the Paranormal Eats. We've got a new video from, of course, the Paranormal Eats champion himself, Michael Smith. We've not seen this, so we don't know what to expect.
He actually took and made a physical championship.
That is dedication. How dedicated is that?
Yeah, that shows pride, and that's the champion we want, right?
Of course. But
now I want to wet people's whistle here a little bit.
Okay.
So I want to tell, because we're going to talk some funny stories, some personal stories. So I'm going to tell you a short, little, funny personal story that happened to me.
Okay.
So in Vancouver, we have a subway system. It's called the SkyTrain because it's above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to work. I'm hopping on the SkyTrain, and I see this really attractive girl. And I'm just like, I'm vibing into her, and she's like vibing back.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was with this other girl. It was a bigger girl, but I'm like, okay, they're friends, whatever. And so me and this girl were like totally vibing into each other. She's staring at me, smiling, and I'm smiling at her. And all of a sudden, her friend walks up to me and says, "Are you hitting on my girlfriend?" And I haven't always been the confident one-line catchphrase machine Canada Dry. I haven't always been that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I had to evolve into him. So I was like, I was just kind of, I didn't know what to say. The cat had my tongue. And so I just blurted out no. And then the girl that we were smiling and she goes, he can smile at me all he wants.
Ooh.
And I'm just laughing. And then the other girl comes up to this. She goes, I should punch you right in the face. And I don't know what to say. So I just got on the train. Luckily, she's right at the door. It shuts, and I drive away on the train. But this was one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me.
Oh, wow. What's going on, Josie Graham? Thanks for stopping by. Now, Canada Dry, I've just seen the comment here. Do you know it's a very special day today?
Special day? What are you talking about?
Well, apparently I've been given this little video to play. I mean, I've not been told anything. It just says...
You just got it in your inbox.
It is. It's just said, play this video on the show. So here it is.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You're wrestling with the paranormal. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, my.
I don't even know what to say to that.
He's trying to be Marilyn Monroe.
Of course, it's 2 years. Kind of
Yes, right. It's our 2-year anniversary of when we started the show. 2 years. We're a baby boy.
Wow, 2 years. I mean, obviously I've not been part since the beginning, but 2 years. I mean, what's that like for you? Because obviously you've been there from the start, really.
Well, it's almost as long as All If in Wrestling show.
Wow.
It's like, we started this like we're just talking about paranormal stuff in the chat, and all of a sudden, you want to start a podcast? Okay.
Dear. Mr. Graham says that's the stuff of nightmares. You're not kidding. I really didn't know what to think with that one.
Well, I guess that's what he was talking about at the beginning when he's like, "I gotta hurry up," and he made something quick together. I want some macaroni gift card from the Enlightened One.
Maybe stay tuned. I mean, who knows? You never know what the Enlightened One's got planned. You know, he's learning how to use a phone now, so this is quite the scary part.
What about your buddy, the magician's assistant? Well, what's he up to? Do we get any more input on that guy?
No, he's on holiday at the moment. This is one of these guys where you never really see him. He just is always on the phone. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like long distance type thing, you know?
I hate those long distance relationships.
It's funny you say that because I've got a story similar. Not long distance, but you'll get the gist of it later on. Yeah. So, right then, should we get into our part one?
Let's get into our part one. Let's climb in that big old bad vault. It looks like it's time to open up the vault.
Do you know the combination?
So at the minute, I just want to point out, I'm not actually happy because the interns gave me a password saying, this is for the vault, and I've tried it, and it doesn't work.
Do you remember what the password is? I told you last week.
Yeah, but the interns gave me one, and apparently they were adamant it was working, and I've tried it.
All right, so you couldn't get in.
No.
But do you remember the password I gave you last week?
I cannot remember what I did yesterday, so how am I going to remember a password for a vault?
Come on, Liam. I said this two times in a row.
Go on then, what is it?
Okay. I don't want you writing this down, because that's cheating.
I've just put my phone away.
Okay, so you're going to try and remember this next week. The password is Bosco. So if you're watching next week and I ask you guys who are watching, I want you all to type in Bosco, okay?
Okay. Right then, so what's in the vault this week?
All right, let me reach in here and pull out the first thing. Okay, I got it. Boop. Oh, that's creepy.
What the hell is that?
Something's in the tea. It looks like Beetlejuice.
That's definitely a female Beetlejuice there. What the hell?
Actually, now that I look at it, it does look like a woman's face,
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a woman's face there.
but a freaking scary woman.
That is really, really creepy. But when you said Beetlejuice, it's like I can just not unsee that now.
Yeah.
I mean, where'd you find that? Why have we got stuff like that?
Well, I needed to. I didn't find it. It was in the vault.
If
You
that's
know the vault is magical and stuff just appears in it.
Yeah, if that's what's in the vault, I have no idea what else is in the vault. But Michael Smith said that's terrifying. You're not kidding there.
All right.
I'm
what,
really
what,
just,
what are your thoughts on this?
I'm really creeped out because it's just like you just now you've said Beetlejuice. I'm like I like that movie. I will be honest, but now it's like I don't really want to watch that movie anymore.
Well, I hear that spirits and demons and ghosts use TVs to mess with people.
Yeah, if it's like they get the energy from that, I do believe.
Yeah, so I've heard lots of times of their images appearing in the TV.
Just imagine that where you're watching like a TV, then you just see like something just coming to the screen. You're like, whoa, I'm watching that.
Okay, so I have one quick little story like this that just came to my mind. When I was a kid, you had to we had a TV where you had to change it manually, and so I'm about to change the channel. I'm walking up to change the channel, and all of a sudden, the screen went pure white like the snow, and there was this demonic voice that came on the TV, and it just said, and then and then it went back to normal.
What the bloody hell? That's Michael Smith says his name 3 times and see what happens. I'm not. I really don't want to.
Enlighten one.
No, nothing. He must be having a day off.
He's busy making other greeting cards. He's got some plans to make a business out of that.
Of course, he's a very busy boy. So, yeah, that's really disturbing because it's like, what the hell? And as you mentioned there, obviously we know the backstory, like when they can go into TV. So, yeah, that's give me shivers, that one. Right then. So, what is there anything else in the vault?
Let me grab the other thing. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's I think I got it. Something sticky. There's something sticky on my hands.
What the?
So it looks like the door's moving on its own.
Yeah.
They're going in the building, and
there's no
one there moving it on either side.
What the hell? So originally when I was watching that video just then, I thought wind, but I'm like, that does not seem...
Well, you notice there was a... What did they say?
What was that behind you? And I am not falling for that, Mr. Smith.
I'm glad that I couldn't read it because it made you read it.
But yeah, originally when I saw that, then I thought the wind, but when you watch the video closely, it's like, it can't be the wind because obviously it's just swinging, backwards and forwards. But
well, there's a weird plant sort of thing on the other side. You notice going through the crack of the door.
Yep, I did. That is. Do you want to watch it again?
Sure, let's watch it one more time.
It's swinging up in there, as you said.
Yeah, there it is.
Right. They're going inside. Yeah, there's like I see what you mean now with the plant.
I wonder, could this be someone's hoax of making a mechanical door?
But where's the actual mechanics to that for the door to
Okay,
move?
so where it would be up top and below, there'd be a thing turning back and forth, and you would just hook the door up to it.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I mean, it does seem a little bit far-fetched. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible.
Well, the plant almost looks out of place.
Yeah, that's the thing what's throwing me, that little plant bit.
Could that be some sort of plant just be hiding some cord or something?
It could be, yeah. I mean, They are trying to murder that thing with them guns, either that or Ghostbusters.
Yes, they all got these like high assault rifles. Like, what are you gonna do? Shoot some ghosts?
Damn it. Yeah, that's. I think there's more mystery to that one.
Do you know
what I
what's
mean?
funny? When you hold up a gun chasing ghosts, I've learned one thing: you cannot over die because you cannot over dry.
You cannot. Oh. Okay, that's baffled me.
You cannot over die and you cannot over dry. Two things you cannot do.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I've never thought it that way.
You
but,
can't get any drier and you can't be any deader once you're dead.
Oh wow. Yeah. You just fried my brain, and we're only 15 minutes in. Dear. So anyway, that actually wraps up the vault. But I've actually got a parcel here.
Right. Did we get a birthday present?
We did. I mean,
I'm excited.
It's from, of course, our good friend Dollywood, who's.
She knew we were turning 2 years old, and she got us a present.
She did. She did. Do you know what?
That's very sweet. That's very sweet.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open it off camera and then show you exactly what's in it.
All right, drum roll, please.
Yeah. This thing's hard to wrap.
Listen, I can only drum so much.
We need a little video thing, don't we? Right, there we go.
Or even just like hit the drum button.
Yeah. Right, all the contents is coming out. Give me a second. Whoa, we've got quite a few things here.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Right then, so is that everything? Yep, that's everything. So we'll go for it one by one. So first off, we've got a Charlotte Football Club. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Charlotte Flair?
I don't know, just says Charlotte Football Club.
Oh, that's an English football club, isn't it?
No.
Oh no, that's their soccer team in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I guess. Right. We've also got a inaugural match patch. I'm not sure what that is.
We're gonna have to ask what this is we're getting for the show.
Right then, should we get onto the good stuff? Because we've got 3 more good items.
All right.
We have got a. Oh wow, this is really cool.
Is that Hollywood Hulk Hogan?
It's Hollywood NWO bandana.
Oh, you're gonna have to wear that on one of these episodes, because
of course, we've got a nice little poster, and it's kind of ironic because this feud's kind of kicked back up. You guys can see that.
Full gear, all right, baby.
And last but not least is, oh wow, we've got a nice little signed picture here. Care to take a guess which one or which wrestler? I give you a hint. It's AEW.
It is Serpenticum.
No, I'll give you another guess, and I'll give you an actual hint. He's on the commentary team.
Paul White? Is it Paul White?
It is Paul White.
Yeah, the Big Show.
Wow, I'm absolutely blown away with that, Dollar. So, thank you so much. Do you know what I mean?
So how do we split this up? Like, what parts do I get and what parts do you get?
Which parts do you want?
I'll get the Big Show.
Yeah, you can have the Big Show. You know, yeah, I'm nice like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm loving the bandana.
But I would never dare to dream of taking that Hollywood Hulk Hogan bandana from you.
No, because
I would love to see that on your forehead one of these shows.
Right, if I can get it working for the next show, we might have it on, or the show after that. Well, who knows?
Well, yeah, we can give you a new gimmick, Hollywood
magician. Hollywood magician.
Oh, Liam Hollywood Wakeland. There we go.
Oh dear, just stick them over there. But Dollywood, thank you so much for them. That appreciate that so much. So
thank you so much.
Of course. Right then. So what's next? What should we do next?
I don't know. I think let's go with the paranormal. Oh, let's get rocking and a rolling here. Let's get on our safety belts because we're about to go blasting off into the galaxy. And we're good to go.
God, I felt the turbulence there. Did you?
Turbulence?
Yeah, it means like when you're on a
I know what
plane.
turbulence is.
Uh,
I think that the peanuts aren't very salty today, are they?
no, and they're absolutely horrible. I really hate them.
Oh, I thought my mouth was just broken.
No, they're not. No, they're not at all.
These peanuts are horrid.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Is that
Right
a
then.
word that is said often in England? Horrid.
It's more like horrible. We could say other words, but we're not.
I feel like horrid is more like upper class, right?
Yeah.
That is horrid. Absolutely horrid.
We say a lot of other words, but I can't say them on the show.
Oh no, we do not want that. The sponsors don't like it when we do stuff like that.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got in the news today?
Right then, so we'll start off with probably one of the biggest story which a lot of fans did not see coming, and it's courtesy of one, Mr. CM Punk. Now, he obviously deleted a certain Instagram post. I do have the post on the screen.
This is almost like our disclaimer thing at the beginning of the show.
So I'm just going to quickly read what it actually says, and then we'll discuss it.
Let's take that off the screen. We don't need it. We're not going to read it. Just let's have you read it out.
It says, "Sigh, I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet the plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I never seen a Rocky movie, and I thought the idea sucked, but if the boss wanted me to do it, whatever, he said he wanted me to he wouldn't lose to me. I never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay, but I never cleared first. They kept saying it could be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at this, and my health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Chris Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change. I'll never put a company above my health ever again." So this is interesting because Chris Jericho did actually respond with a special little thing called delete, which I thought was hilarious. But I'm kind of thinking this is a work. I mean,
and then
CM
think? Punk responded with a Danny Glover picture saying, "I'm too old for this shit."
Yeah, it's. This is just we spoke about this before we came on the air. It just seems so out the blue. Do you know what I mean? It's just really.
Well, what would be picking at CM Punk's ass to all of a sudden just blurt this out?
Maybe he's actually expected to come back. I mean,
did Meltzer maybe post something again, and then kind of get to Punk?
When did Meltzer not post anything? I mean, let's be honest.
So this was like I was wondering if this was an old response from Meltzer, or was this a new thing that Meltzer wrote?
Thing is, with Meltzer, I mean, there's so many things he actually discusses. Even I don't actually follow it because I feel like some of the information he actually does release is not accurate.
Yeah, I think he just wants to be the first one to say something, so he'll just, this is blah 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 blah. So I'm first person to blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Josie Graham says Meltzer said something earlier in the day, so it looks like he has said something. So
okay, so he is responding to Meltzer's that thing that day. So it wasn't an old thing; it was the current thing that Meltzer did. So that makes sense why Punk all of a sudden responded, but it's such an over response.
Yeah, but the problem I've got is we know how vocal Punk is. So is this just Punk being Punk, as we call it?
Well, if it's Punk being Punk, right? What can you say to that? But if it is a planned thing, I don't think that could Jericho and Punk be talking right away and get other people in on it. I'm starting to question that.
Yeah, there's definitely more to this we obviously don't know about. We still don't know what's going on with Punk in wrestling. Is he actually done? Is he just a one-off? We don't actually know.
yeah, like if this is Punk just freaking out again, then I gotta be honest, I did not make me happy because I'm like, oh no, he's not coming back now.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of these where the next few months is going to be key. Do you know what I mean? We'll probably know more. That's probably
Well, there was actually other things by Punk that we kind of just didn't acknowledge as much because it wasn't as vocal. But he was talking about how in someone's book they just squashed the beef right away in Jerry Lawler's thing. They had a big ball in a fight, and Lawler brought them in the office, and they squashed their beef right there and then and continue on business. And that's what he tweeted like the day before.
yeah. I really don't know what to say on this. I mean, why is he actually deleted the post is really questionable for me. Is he doing it for attention? I mean, we don't know. The thing is with Punk is we know how vocal he is, we know what he's like, but what can we say really from a fan's point of view?
Yeah, I guess Joseph Graham said it best when he said, "You know what? Just enjoy it and just watch."
Yeah, I think that's probably well said on that one.
Yeah, because it's like we could speculate all we want because we don't get the full insider knowledge of why people do the way the things they do, right? So I think just sit there and enjoy it. We don't really get the insiders too much sometimes.
That is true. That's true. So, from a wrestler on Instagram to a wrestler on Twitter, Rhea Ripley decides to rant on Twitter. Now, she would go on and say the following: "People need to respect that no means no at airports and do not follow me outside. Today has put me off completely. I will not sign anything that isn't a professional photo of us anymore. Hate me, I don't care. Disagree with me. Try putting yourself in our shoes for one bloody day." So when I read this, the first thing I thought is, we know from obviously what the fans can be like. We know they can be very, I won't say pushy, but very, yeah, I think probably pushy is the correct word. But is this necessary just ranting on Twitter, to be honest?
Well, this is what makes me wonder. When you write that, aren't you worried a bit about the fans who made you?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's this. It's like you want to be mad at the fans, but the fans are the ones who pay your paycheck.
Yeah, no, I think you're well on point there. Well said.
So you gotta walk that line, and I think for Rhea Ripley to say that the way she said it, to me, it's not fair to the fans. Not to say that the fans are not completely wrong, because they are. So what I'm saying is this: is you can still be kind and set boundaries at the same time.
No, I agree totally. Mrs. Smith says she's a pro athlete. She knew what she was getting into. I don't like this idea, obviously, putting the full blame, obviously, on Rhea. We know, like I said, what the fans can be like. So does the fans have to take responsibility as well for this?
Oh, absolutely. The fans, okay. Wrestling fans are the worst. No other fandom can compare to a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't think of any fan that is as toxic as a wrestling fan. And we're
true.
wrestling fans doing a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, but the thing is, we know that obviously the fan base can be toxic. I think the WWE one can be just most toxic, from my personal opinion. But I'm not saying obviously other companies have got toxic fan bases, because obviously they have. But
well, it's. I want to talk a bit about the fans. I think fans are really actually getting the bum rap here.
Okay.
Because most of the toxic fans are a low percentage of people. They're just doing the shittiest things.
No, that's true. Well said. I mean, even
because look at us at Effin Wrestling. We have a great group of people that are part of our Facebook group. We have great people in AFW Prediction League.
Yeah.
And we have a great amount of people that are following us, and they're all good, kind people. Like, We have a few weirdos, but just like every other group. But you know,
Yeah. Yeah, we do have obviously the problem. The way I look at it is we've got different people from different background, different walks of life, different upbringings. But do you know what? It's still one community. We all get along. We all talk about obviously wrestling. There's going to be the odd few people where they not don't agree with stuff, which that's the wrestling. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to agree on everything. Like for example, there's going to be stuff what I don't agree with, which you might agree with. Do you know what I mean? It's just what makes us fans.
effing rights.
Effing right. Dear. Joseph Graham says it's the vocal minority, otherwise known as the bottom 10%.
Yeah, that's right. Vocal minorities.
It's a big word for me, that one.
Me too.
Dear. Right, then we'll move on to our next story. Josh Alexander from Impact is injured. So Josh Alexander is injured and will have to relinquish the Impact World Championship. Alexander has torn his tricep and will require surgery. Impact will crown a new champion on April 16th as Steve Macklin faces Kushida.
Oh wow.
I'm going to be honest.
It shouldn't be Steve Macklin. It should be another Canadian.
I've got to be honest. I mean, I don't mind obviously Steve Macklin, but this just I'm not really digging this actual match for me personally. I mean, what do you think?
I think it can still be good. It's just a different kind of match. I think these two will look forward to showing why they deserve to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of feel sorry for Impact because they do actually put on some good shows. You know, what I mean, they have put some good matches, but I mean, it's sad to see. Obviously, wrestler injured. We don't like to see this, but Josh Alexander has been one of the top champions over the past couple of years. Do you know? But
I mean, it's not gonna be long before Josh Alexander is in AEW.
Do you think he'll team back up with Ethan Page?
I think they're gonna have a feud against each other. It's gonna be magnificent.
That will be yeah.
Can you not see him as AEW? Honestly,
I can see a few wrestlers from Impact on AEW. I mean, one of them's already there now, Taya Valkyrie. I want to see Callahan. I really hate what they're doing with Callahan in Impact. And obviously Josh Alexander's another one. There could be a few there. Jordan Grace is another one. There's probably a good handful you could really take from that actual company.
Oh, for sure. What do we have next?
Right then, so we're going to finish off on something which I've got to be honest, I was very, very surprised at this. This was sent to me by the effing expert himself, Mr. Isaacs. Did you know Nigel McGuinness has got a new profession?
What's this?
I really can't believe this. Nigel McGuinness's new profession is a magician.
Oh, shit, no.
There you go.
Oh, my goodness. He's stealing your gimmick.
I'm really, really pissed off at this. He's stealing my gimmick.
Stealing your gimmick.
Oh, dear. But I've got to be honest, I never really expected this from Nigel McGuinness. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he was a great talent, is a great ring announcer, a great commentator. But, I mean, what can you say about this, really?
Well, wrestlers really would make good magicians because they got charisma, right? It's very easy to do something performative like that.
Yeah, that is true. But you know what? I mean, I wish him nothing but the best. You know what I mean? The success. I mean, he's a UK wrestler. I've got to stick with the UK wrestlers, you know?
Oh, yeah. You got to support the home team, baby.
There you go. But, yeah, I mean, what a great thing to end on. Nigel McGuinness is now a magician. He's actually stealing my gimmick. I'm going to end on that.
Well, I think we should acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean...
JP is not here.
No, he's not.
He better get here because now it's time for Paranormal Eats.
Yep.
That means there's one more segment.
And then, yeah, Paranormal Eats. Now, I've got a question for this. Did you actually expect this actual segment to take off like it has?
I did not, but you went I always have this idea where something comes to you and wants to do something, you just say yes. Because
Yes.
like you see the opportunity and you just keep going with it because it's entertaining.
It is. It is. Right then. So this is I don't even know how to describe this. Canada, help me out on this one.
I don't know. We'll have to see in the video what's going on.
Right then. So this comes from the Paranormal Eats World Champion, Mr. Smith. Now, this guy's obviously sent videos of crazy, I want to say food combinations. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, he's eaten some strange stuff so far.
Yeah, he has. And so this is his latest one. So here it is.
Michael Smith here, first ever Paranormal Eats champion. Today, I have my wife Elizabeth here, and for the second birthday episode, she's gonna make me something.
And for birthday, we're gonna have a birthday theme eats. So we got a piece of cheesecake here, and you need a drizzle of spicy mayonnaise dressing, a whipped topping of sour cream, and everybody needs sprinkles.
That's fish food, by the way.
Doesn't that look delicious, everybody? Here's the magic spoon for our champion.
Oh. Since it's the second birthday, I'm going to do a second bite. Oh, man. That fish food. Oh. That's gross.
And I might add, he swallowed.
Oh my goodness.
Can I just say one thing? I mean, the one thing I love about that is how tentative he was to literally take the first bite. He was like, I don't want to
So
do
what
it.
were the first things that were put on there?
It's spicy mayonnaise. Then it was like some sort of whipped cream and then sprinkles. I'm going to be honest, at first it doesn't actually seem too bad, but I think Mr. Smith's like facial expressions has kind of put me off.
You know what the sprinkles were, right?
Fish food.
Fish food. That's the kicker.
Oh dear. Yeah, at first I'm like,
The fish food is brutal.
yeah. Oh dear. I mean, he never ceases to amaze me. Do you know what I mean?
He's up the game. Last week was tuna and chocolate, and now this tops it for sure.
And the actual cream was sour cream. So
Congratulations, our champion, the man we deserve as our champion, Michael Smith.
there you go. There you go. Well done. Right then, so we've got one more segment before we get to our main event.
All right, we still have Bullet Truth. So yeah, what I want to say is we got to do this Bullet Truth thing.
Dear. I love a good Bullet Truth because Mr. Isaac's voice really sells it. You know what I mean? The guy can literally...
this is a special birthday edition. He did a longer one.
Okay, how long we talking?
Birthday edition. This is a really nice, beautiful story. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Isaacs here with your weekly Bull or Truth segment. Now, I know this hasn't exactly been weekly. It's been kind of crazy here for Mr. Isaacs lately, but trying to get back in the rhythm of things here at All Effin' Wrestling, and I hope you guys are doing well. And here we go. Late Night Laughter. Just over 10 years ago, I was fresh out of college and had moved back to my parents' house for the free rent food for 9 months. before I was leaving the state for graduate school. To earn some money, I took a part-time gig doing some light bookkeeping for a small business owner that my dad knew. They had a business where you could rent low-level farm equipment, a small mom-and-pop type thing in the sticks. Since they knew my family, they trusted me to go in there for about 15 to 20 hours a week and check and file the rental forms, make sure nobody missed a payment date, answer an email or two discussing prices, availability, etc. Super easy gig. The old building where I worked was about 90 years old and at the top of this little hill. The downstairs used to be an old country bar until the 1970s. I could work any hours I wanted to as long as the work got done, so I'd usually go in after 7 p.m. and stay until around midnight or 1 a.m., since I knew I'd be alone and could listen to music loud and take my time. The office was on the second floor of the building and looked out onto the long driveway. One night, during the winter, it had snowed a few inches, but I was desperate to get out of the house. So I went into work about 8 p.m. I always left the gate open at the bottom of the hill since, believe me when I say that, nobody ever showed up at night. We were literally in the middle of nowhere. To even turn onto our short road, you had to only be coming to our specific building and know it was there beforehand. So I was jamming away to some Fall Out Boy. Everyone makes mistakes when they're young. And having some coffee. And I kept glancing at the snow outside as I worked, since our one orange street light reflected onto the ground at the gate and was causing the light to shine off the snow in a really cool, dare I say beautiful, way. Around midnight, I went downstairs to do my bathroom business, then came back upstairs and got settled back into my work. I probably did about 5 minutes of work when I glanced outside and saw a huge imprint of something in the fresh snow just below the orange light. It seemed like a huge dog or substantial animal had just rolled around on the ground there on its back or something. Since I didn't notice it just 15 minutes before, it had to have happened while I was in the bathroom. I shook it off and assumed an animal was attracted to the light or something. At around 2 a.m., I was leaving and got out of my car to lock the gate, and to be honest, I had pretty much forgotten about the imprint in the snow. But when I looked down, I was shocked to see that it wasn't just disturbed snow, but it was undeniably the imprint of a human-made snow angel. I used to make snow angels when I was a kid, and they are also very recognizable, so I 100% knew for sure that's what this was. And it was deliberately made underneath the light post. But it wasn't from a kid. It was from a very large person. And I already knew whoever made this snow angel could easily have looked up and have seen me through the window. So they must have waited for me to head downstairs to the bathroom to make this angel. No cars had pulled up to the building. I would have heard them even from the bathroom. So I glanced around for footprints in the snow and saw that there was one set that led to the nearby woods to the right of the building. It was clear the person didn't use the road, but instead came from the opposite side, which instantly made me uneasy, since that side was just trees and darkness for miles and miles. By now, I was freaking out and trying to get back in my SUV. And that's when I heard it. Before I could get inside, I heard loud, high-pitched laughing coming from the woods. It almost sounded like a fake laugh, like the witch in The Wizard of Oz, like someone was doing it fake on purpose. It was close enough that I knew they could see me, but I couldn't see them at all, since other than the streetlight I was under, there was no illumination. After a few seconds of laughing, they stopped, and then it was just silence everywhere, except for my heart beating loudly through my ears. Then, the laughing started again, though louder this time, more like screaming and laughing combined. I sort of froze for like 5 seconds, listening in panic. Now, I spent a lot of time in that area, and I know what coyotes and foxes sound like at night with their high-pitched screeches during mating season, but this was very human. It felt like it was an adult male trying to emulate a woman laughing, like someone was deliberately trying to make a fake scary shriek laugh in order to scare someone. Well, it worked. After 5 seconds, I immediately filled up with adrenaline, got in my car, and drove the
Ooh, okay.
That is one spooky story.
That is.
But the question is it bull or is it truth?
I originally said bull, but the second half of the story is really throwing me. So I think I'm gonna go. I think this is true.
What really got me was the Fallout Boy comment.
Yeah, when I heard that, I'm literally just lost it nearly.
Yeah, so that makes me think that this is a true story.
Right then, shall we find out if it's bull or true?
Let's see.
All right, gentlemen. Are we ready? Is this story bull or is it truth? This story, my friends, is truth. This was submitted to Jezebel.com in the Scary Stories contest for 2022.
Well then, so it's true. I mean, there's so much detail in that actual story as well.
Did he already say about the part and remember just keep fighting?
I'm not too sure.
Did you hear it? Did you hear Jeremy say that?
I did not, unless I've missed.
Oh, I wonder if we like cut it off by mistake. Because he goes, and remember, as our good friend Canada Dry says, just keep. I'm doing it, doing him, doing him.
Oh dear! Right then, should we get into why we're actually here?
Yes, let's. So I guess JP's not going to show up, and we're just going to tell our stories. So, it's just two good buddies sitting around the fire with a couple beers, and we're just enjoying each other's company.
So here is the main event.
We're gathering around the campfire to tell some funny stories. Stories with friends.
And of course, this is actually sponsored by our backshave.com.
Have you ever just been alone in the woods?
That does not sound right.
You're alone in the woods, and you know what's going to save you? Backshaves.com. Because, it just, all of a sudden, they're there, rescue you out of the woods, and they're, shaving your back for you. The rescue team couldn't find you, but Backshaves.com found you.
Yep, there's still obviously the premium tier, which I'm still meaning to.
They'll save your life if you're the premium tier.
Now, did you say that the premium tier, they seem to get a bit more good looking, the people who come to your house?
I can neither confirm nor deny this one.
Oh dear! Right then, so
wink, wink. You know what I mean? Nudge, nudge.
I'm moving on before we get into trouble. Right then, so this is our main event where we get to tell some funny stories. What stories have we personally can tell? So Canada Dry, I will let you go first.
All right, so these are some of to me. I'm going to be embarrassing to myself, some of my most embarrassing moments.
Okay.
So my first one is I'm on my way to work, and I get on the bus, and so when you get on the bus, you sit next to the pretty girl. So I sat right across from the pretty girl, and just we kind of looked at each other, and but we didn't really say anything. So the bus stops, and these two gentlemen come on the bus, and I noticed that I guess they're what we call disabled in a certain way, and they sandwich her. They sit on both sides of her.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other spots they could be sitting, but they chose to like sit right in between the pretty girl. So she's like just sandwiched in there.
Like uncomfortable.
Yes, and like, but she doesn't want to be rude because, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, all of a sudden, they're interacting with her, and they're talking to her. And she's being nice, and she's talking back to them. And the one guy grabs her leg and runs his hand across her leg, and tells her she has very soft hands.
What?
And I just started laughing, but I was covering my mouth, but I couldn't control myself. I was laughing so hard, and I was covering my mouth, and then so I think she notices me laughing, and next thing they're talking about other things, and the Down syndrome guy, he spits on her face as he's talking to her.
Oh no! Oh no!
And I lost it. I fell on the floor of the bus, laughing my ass off.
Oh, this poor lass is literally getting, I wouldn't say spat on, but through no fault, obviously, of other people's, and you're literally laughing.
But okay, so it ended up being a little good thing that happened because I was able to save her a little bit.
Okay.
By interacting with the disabled fellows.
Mm-hmm.
And so it turns out that I ended up getting her phone number.
Oh, okay.
And we went on a couple dates.
Wow. And did it go anywhere?
Not really. I just kind of fizzled out. But it was a really good start to that relationship.
Oh, wow. I just love the fact that literally she's getting spat on and you're just laughing.
I couldn't help it. It was just funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, someone's just talking right at your face, and as they're talking at you, spit in their face.
Oh dear! But at least you got a number out, I suppose. So it's
well, I got the number. I'm like, I know I might have been like the Joker Prince, I guess, because I still was nice and helped her.
Oh dear! I love that. And that's the first story for what? I don't even know I can't even unpack it because I don't know how.
I don't know how everyone else wasn't rolling in the aisles. Like, why was I the only one laughing at this?
Did you get any looks from other people?
I wasn't. I was just concerned with what was in front of me and what am I actually seeing?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not even aware of everyone else. I'm just like, my focus is right there.
Oh dear, that's a brilliant, that's a funny one. I love that.
You know, if it would have worked out between me and this girl, that would be a cool story to tell your grandchildren and stuff.
Oh yeah, how you met?
How you met?
That's a lovely story. That has really put a smile on my face. So, right then, should we get into my story?
I am excited to hear what you have to say, sir.
Of course. So anyway,
that's a beautiful fire.
So anyway, my story actually happened last year. So this is pretty recent. Now, would you obviously
you were still part of Effin' Wrestling at this point?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
So, obviously you're at work. You've had them big debates, with your friends and stuff like that. Now, last year, a work colleague of mine had so much of a big debate that it actually went quite high in the board. I'll explain what I mean. So, a new lad.
English phrase, quite high in the bod.
High in the board. So, nobody. It went to like the management side.
Okay.
It'll become more clear in a second. So, the guy who obviously I was working with at the time is still there. We're having this big debate about, like football, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're just randomly debating about absolutely everything. And one debate, which looking back now, I'm thinking, why the hell are we doing this? And the debate was, does all chairs have legs? Right? Right? This is not even half of it. Right? And I kid you not, from that actual comment, me and him had a full-blown hour debate about this, and to a point where even now I'm looking at it now going,
I'm laughing my ass off.
But the funny thing was, it got so heated that we even got like other people involved, like people upstairs were saying, can you settle the debate for us? And we're like, honestly, for a full hour we were absolutely going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards.
Oh, that is hilarious. What was your side? What was your side?
I can't, it actually gets a bit worse. Then you can unpack it. So,
okay.
So one of the guy obviously I was debating with, decided to ask a work colleague upstairs. Now I can't remember exactly what she said, but an hour later he got pulled into the office because apparently he shouldn't have asked the actual person this question. Right, okay, so then he's come out of the room, he's there kicking off saying he doesn't like this job anymore. Do you know, usual stuff?
Yes.
So then it's gone higher up, so obviously the next person, and then that person spoke to that person, so it's literally gone to the director. The director's had to speak to the management and literally said, look, it's got blown out of proportion, and I'm literally sat there going, I kind of feel responsible for this.
So that debate, do all chairs have legs, goes all the way to the top.
Yep. That
is incredible.
That is literally goes to the top of the management somehow.
How does it get past you and him though?
I don't know. The thing is now, looking back now, we still laugh about it now. It's like, I never anticipated this debate to get so heated. When I say heated, I mean literally heated.
Like you're wanting to fight him, he's wanting to fight you.
Literally, he could have throttled me just because of this debate. We were literally asking absolutely everybody, and we were still debating about it for dinner time. Honestly, it's probably one of the funniest debates I've ever had.
Oh wow! I don't know if I could survive a debate like that.
Even now, though, John, obviously the guy's still obviously working with us. We still have a little chuckle about it now. It's like, why the hell did we even debate about that? Do you know what I mean?
You know, that's marketable.
That is really.
We make a shirt. Do all chairs have legs? Wrestling with the paranormal.
Yes, do it. Absolutely do it. That is a shirt. And yeah, that's one of my stories.
That was an incredible story.
Have you got another story?
I do. All right. So
story number 2 from Canada Dry.
All right. So a few years back, when I was a little bit younger, we were hanging out with some people. One happened to be one of these people, was a pretty girl that I really, really liked.
Is this dating advice?
It's not. It's not. But there's this pretty girl that I really, really liked, and so we're all going to be having like a campfire and like a get together at her parents' house, and we're going to have the campfire and all that kind of stuff, and but there's this little mountain that's by their house, and so we all like do this little hikes, like path sort of hike, you know what I mean? Not really a real hike, but we do this little path hike to the top of the mountain, and we're all kind of there and just chit chatting. Okay, we made it, blah blah, and we're all kind of staying at the top for a little bit, and I go over to the edge, and I'm right at the edge, and I say, you know what? I can probably climb down that and make it to the bottom.
Yep.
And don't know why I felt I had to do this, but I think I was trying to impress the girl.
Yep.
So I started. I was telling, I think I'm going to do that. Then they said, don't do it. And even she said, don't do it. But the more they said, don't do it, the more I wanted to do it.
Right.
So I decided that, and my friend was cheering me on. He said, yeah, you can do it. And I decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. And so it's like an incline like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started making my way down. And I don't know if you have like this kind of moss in England, but if you, it's kind of like a peat moss. And if you, it goes on rocks, and if you like put your foot on it, you could like slide right off.
It's more like the seaside, like obviously in the UK.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
We have this moss that grows on mountains and stuff. And
Okay.
so at any point, I could have put my foot on one of these pieces of moss and go sliding down to my death.
Mm-hmm.
Because moths will make you slide. Anyways, so I make my way down the mountain, not even thinking about what if I could die. Like, there was a very good chance I could die.
Right.
And so, anyways, I managed to like avoid a couple things and make my way down. And I am probably like like however high your ceiling is to the ground it is right now.
Yeah.
That's how far I was to the ground. And that's where I had to stop.
Yeah.
Because beneath the base of this mountain was a gigantic mud swamp.
Oh no. I see where this is going.
And so I had to jump over this mud swamp to the level ground.
Mm-hmm.
This was gonna be fine. I was gonna do it. But there was one problem. When I jumped, my foot snagged a branch.
Oh no.
And I did a belly flop right in the mud.
Oh dear.
I was covered head to toe in this gross, disgusting mud swamp. It was disgusting.
So you've embarrassed yourself, really?
Oh, this was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Oh no.
So I had to climb out of that mud swamp, and I met the girl of my dreams at the time, and see me covered head to toe. They just burst out laughing. Oh, I was humiliated.
Oh, and what did you do? Do you have to go back home?
No, so she was kind enough to give me some other clothes to wear, and she
Right.
washed my clothes,
Oh.
and I was able, like within 2 hours, I was able to put my clothes back on, and we all sat and enjoyed the fire. And it was and right away we knew what the lesson of that was.
Don't go on moss.
Pride comes before a fall.
Oh dear, I just love the fact that you just knew. So was there a point where you just knew you're just going to go in the swamp?
But yeah, there was this point where I was like, yes, I've got this. And then, no, I don't have this.
I can just imagine your face going, oh.
Yeah, it's like happy than no.
That's brilliant. But at least you should wash your clothes, you know?
Yeah, she was a nice girl, but I soon later knew that she wasn't for me.
Okay, we'll end on that one. Is that the end of your story on that one?
Yep, that's the end of the story on that.
Right then.
Any questions or comments you have on it before you
Yeah, of
tell
course.
yours?
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I just find it hilarious that you just knew mid-air. You're going, oh, I'm going to hit the swamp here.
All right, go ahead. Tell your story.
Oh. So this is a bit of a short one. Then obviously I'm going to tell the long one next. what people need to realize is when myself and obviously my dad are together, I'm just going to say we are absolute lunatics. Do you know what I mean? And this is probably a prime example. So this happened, I think this was 3-4 years ago, and we was basically around the store trying to find like a lamp. Do you know what I mean? Like a lamp, like a tall one for like the living room as we call it. And we tried shop after shop after shop, and we just could not see one. And we were just about to give up, and we saw this like nice little shop. Do you know what did lamps?
Right?
So my dad went in, I went in with him, and we, like have a quick look as we do, and we saw this like specific lamp. It looked really, really nice, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then my dad decided to see the price. Big mistake. He went on an absolute tangent. Do you know what I mean? He was like, "What the?" You can probably guess. A lot of effing and blinded, right? So I literally had to. I didn't drag him out of the store. It's like, just go on. Do you know what I mean? And we're obviously walking back to the car, and he's still going on about this lamp. And then this woman, bless her, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She said, "Why? What's up, love? Do you know?" And he's explained about this lamp. Do you know what I mean? I think it was something like £50 or the price. And it's like, there's a lamp in it, it's £50 and it's not even thingy. And he's literally going on a whole tangent. And this woman, do you know what I mean? She says, "Well, my lamp's worth this much. Like, it was worth a lot more." And without skipping a beat, my dad says, "Well, more fool you." And once he's made that comment, she could not walk away fast enough. She was gone. I'm like, did you have to go there? Honestly,
don't go there.
Literally, he just went there, and I'm like, wow, you actually just had no words. I'm like, what the hell?
What the bloody hell?
Yeah, so that's a bit of a short one for you there. I mean, any questions?
Okay, so this is about a lamp, basically.
Yep. And he saw the price of the lamp, and then he absolutely kicked off about the lamp, and then insulted.
So we just went on this tangent about this lamp.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah. And then actually,
were you embarrassed by this?
Oh, I was well embarrassed. I'm like, I cannot take you anywhere.
Really, you're like, I can't raise my children properly. That's happened to be your dad.
But I love it. Do you know what I mean? It's still something to laugh about. Years now.
Well, your dad sounds like a real character.
Oh, he is. Like I said, when you put us both together, we're absolute lunatics. But we have a good laugh.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You have this relationship with your dad like that.
It is. So that's the end of that one. So have you got one story each left?
Well, you know what? I was going to tell a story about when I was a youth pastor.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm not going to tell that story today. That's going to go far away. Maybe in the vault somewhere.
Okay, so let's get into your final story. Over to you.
This is a mandatory fire in the middle of the like, wait, we just want to see this damn fire again.
Oh dear. So,
all right, so this story is legendary. I can't believe I didn't remember it. So this is like a prime story. This is a main event story here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought my other stories were good.
Yep.
This story tops it.
Okay.
This is like your superpower that you can only use once in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your superpower. All right. Not boasting about story. I'm going to tell you about it. So I worked at a thrift store when I was going through college.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Value Village. And it's a department store, thrift store. It's all over. There's many, many different versions of it. It's the same name. Anyway, so I was in charge. It was a pretty big store.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a job working in the electronics department.
Yep.
The furniture and electronics. And so I was pricing stuff. I'm trying to pick up girls doing this, by the way. A pretty girl would ask me if this price could be lowered. I'm like, for you, I'll lower it. There's all these girls' prices on their stuff for their used stuff. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so one day there was this girl that worked there, and she was coming and she was kind of flirting with me. Mm-hmm. And So I was enjoying flirting with her, and anyways, I got to get back to work, and so I get back pricing some furniture, and all of a sudden this guy is knocking on the door, and I come to the door, and he's saying, "Hey, I have some stuff I want to sell."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, we don't buy stuff; it's all donation. But if you want to donate it, at the front, I think they give you a coupon." So and he was at the door. He had this little chocolate on his face, and I was like, "Okay, whatever." And I kind of I moved on, and I went back to work. And someone calls me up front to the showcase to kind of get shorthanded up there, and I have to deal with that. So
Okay.
I help them. Some people see stuff in the showcase, and once that guy sees this thing, this guy he comes running up to the showcase, and he's breathing heavily, and he really needs to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Hold on a second," and I help that other guy, and he's done. And then I say, "Okay, what is it?" And he goes, "I really have to tell you something. I just saw the most whacked out thing I've ever seen in my life."
Okay.
And he says that there was a guy in the back furniture area with the electronics, and he was putting his hands in his ass and pulling out poo. And he would flick it on the ground.
Ugh.
And that's not the worst part.
I don't even want to know the worst part, I don't think.
The worst part is he started licking his fingers. This was the man who first came at the door to try to sell me his stuff.
Oh no.
The chocolate.
I want to say I've got questions, but I dare even ask. What did you do?
Well, that's not even the end. So I went back and looked at the poo on the ground, and sure enough, it was there. And do you know what I did?
No. What did you do?
I clocked out and left.
I'd have done the same thing. I'd have found a new job.
There was 15 minutes left in my shift. I just clocked out and left.
As Mr. Smith said, that story escalated really quickly.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Was that not the best story out of the three that I?
That is definitely the best one. Oh dear. I want to say I've got questions, but I really dare ask anything on that one.
No, you gotta ask. You gotta ask.
Did you ever see him again?
No, I never saw it ever again.
Mr. Smith said.
You know what? I wonder why no one questioned me taking off, though. No
That
one,
is
no one never ever. I didn't hear anything from the bosses later on. Why'd you leave early?
Yeah.
I would have told them. I would have been completely honest with them.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say.
Would you have stayed and cleaned up the poo?
No, I'd have just left. Like, I think you
Would
did
you
the
have
right
done
thing.
the same thing as me?
I'd have done the same thing. That is ridiculous. I don't know if my story will top that, but I'll try.
There's a few good Value Village stories, actually, I have.
We should do a part 2 of this, because this is brilliant.
Yes. It's too bad we didn't have JP here for telling the stories, too. But it's still good, right?
Alright, this is a bundle of laughs, so we've got one more story to tell, so here it is. So, this is by far one of the most stupidest things I've done, but go ahead.
No, just before you say that, I just want to say, I know we're going a bit overtime, but it's okay. This is freaking awesome.
This is brilliant. I could stay here for another hour, but
Yeah,
we're not going to stay
yeah.
for another hour. But
We're gonna take our time. If it's an extra half-hour show, who cares?
there you go. There you go. So this by far is one of the most stupidest things I've done, and it'll make sense in a second. So it was actually 3 years ago. I was in the dating scene. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be honest. You know, typical guy.
Oh, I
And-
love date stories.
So obviously I matched with somebody online. You got talking, you know, as you do. And at the first I thought this was not going to go anywhere. I thought this was just going to fizzle out, but it didn't. Do you know what I mean? We agreed to obviously meet up, you know, go on a little date. Now, one of the things she likes to do was go for walks, right? Which, do you know what? Fair enough. So I agreed. I said, look, I drive, right? I mean, I'll pick you up and we'll go for this place to walk. And it's like a river thing, so you can walk all the way around.
Oh, cool.
So I went to there. She was very nervous, you know what I mean? Which is to be expected, you know, and stuff like that. And obviously we got in the car, driving. I'm trying my best to make conversation, bearing in mind I'm nervous as well. So we pull up, you know, it's like a field type thing. We're walking round, you know. I'm still trying my best, trying to make conversation. I can't even say it, but for some reason, right? Yeah, I saw some ducks at the side, and I decide to go and talk to the ducks.
What are you saying to the ducks?
I'm like, I don't know. I can't even remember what I said to the ducks, but just picture this, right? Yeah, I'm on a date with a girl who I've only just met, and I'm talking to ducks.
Were you trying to like make, look, I love ducks. Look, I love the ducks. This is your pickup move. You're like, see, I'm a duck lover. How do you like me now? I'm a duck lover.
But the funny thing was, right, yeah, obviously I was there in an area which I wasn't familiar with, talking to ducks. Now, as I turn round...
That's a shirt. That's a shirt. Talking to ducks.
For some bizarre reason, right, yeah, me talking to ducks actually broke, do you know that barrier, as we call it? And
Icebreaker?
like an icebreaker. I don't know how, I don't know why, but for some bizarre reason, obviously, she opened up a little bit more, you know, and stuff like that. We obviously began talking. And yeah, and I think after that moment...
Do you know what it was?
What's that?
It was the fact that it showed your humanness.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I went as far as like talking to ducks just to break the ice. It's just...
I love that phrase, talking to ducks.
Oh dear, but
That could be another show.
what's that? Talking to
That
ducks.
could be the name of another show. Talking to ducks.
But yeah, obviously we obviously began dating, and all I'm going to say is, because I don't want to talk in smack about this specific person, but it got complicated. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that, but it's still a funny story to tell. Do you know the fact that we began talking to ducks just to break the ice with a girl?
You are cracking me up right now.
Oh, dude. Now, Mr. Smith.
No, but for real, this is gonna happen. Talking to ducks will be a show on our channel.
You heard it here first, so
That will be a show, because I think that is the most hilarious thing I've ever heard in my life.
the duck whisperer.
The duck, but talking to ducks. Like, what is the show about? That's what we gotta figure out.
But we want to just head back to your story, because Mr. Smith's got a few questions about this.
All
He
right.
says,
So what's the question?
he says, was it a turd or liquid?
It was in between turd and liquid.
Okay, hopefully that answers your question.
It was a chunkier liquid. It was a chunkier liquidy turd.
Is that probably well?
And now you can understand why I laughed. When you
Yes.
have a chunky liquidy turd, that's not good.
No,
Like, you could easily do like a really dry turd. That wouldn't be that hard. You just sweep it up.
no.
Like, the other one's a no-go. With that consistency is like peanut butter.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at my story. But yeah, any questions?
Do I have any questions for my story or your story?
My story.
Oh. I'm just enamored that the duck thing worked.
Yeah, I think you're right on what you said there. I think it just showed my comedy side, so I literally was like, okay, let's go with it.
Like this story is amazing because it's going to your story is going to have a brand new show because of it. Like it's birthed a show. That's how good the story is.
That is brilliant. And yeah, I think that's a great story to end on. So one thing left to do, Canada Dry. It's time to blow out the fire.
That's
There we
weird. That's weird. Get this fire out of here.
There you go.
I'm cold now. I'll send you a little cold. The fire's gone. I don't know if it's just mental thing. Maybe you're mentally thinking colder, so that fire's gone.
Wait, what? Did the duck poop smell it? I don't know.
We can't mix the stories up now.
No.
Would your story like to marry my story?
No. This has been really fun because it's like, do you know what I mean? I've got loads of stories like that to tell. Do you know what I mean? I'll be honest.
Oh, that's a great thing. I love that it inspired a show. I'm serious. I'm passionately about this damn show.
You can ask me about this on Sunday, aren't you?
We're gonna have to make a Talking to Ducks logo and everything.
Of course, right then. So, what we got coming up on the channel this week? So, what's going on for Sunday?
Well, can we do this? Just a little quick one.
Okay.
Can we do what's knowledge is power?
Of course. So here is knowledge is power. I've got mine straight away.
You got a nice pose. Can I compliment you on that?
Of course you can.
You're like, it's true.
I know, true innit?
So my knowledge of power moment is this. If you can pick up a girl talking to a freaking duck, you are a master manipulator and you can get any woman you want. And that is knowledge is power.
So anyway, kids, right? If you're working in I'm going to keep mine short and sweet because I always do these short and sweet. Kids, if you're working in a store, right, and somebody runs up to you saying, "Look, I've got to tell you something." The guy in the back is at a blowout. Here's my advice to you: clock out, go home, and find a new job.
That's knowledge.
That is knowledge.
That's power. That's power and knowledge together.
That is knowledge is power.
Knowledge and power. Big change.
Remember that duck story for ages now.
Oh man. I just love that. I just love saying it. Honestly. Talking to ducks just brings up your tongue.
Oh dear, this is brilliant. Right then, so what we got?
Wait,
coming up
imagine
Sunday?
like an animated show talking to ducks. The ducks are talking back at you. You're like just sitting in a room having a conversation.
I think that's a great thing to end on.
Oh, so yeah, well, I guess we'll just tell everyone about our shirts and all that kind of stuff.
But first, what's going up Sunday?
Oh, right. I've managed to dodge that a couple times. But you know what?
Okay.
I got people on the list.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to name them. All these people, they got on the list. And we're going to find out who they are. But not only that, but me, you, and JFB are going to be each choosing 4 wrestling things to put on that list. Could be a manager, it could be a manager, it could be a wrestler, it could be a promotion.
Could it be a match stipulation?
Yes, it could be a match stipulation. It could be a gimmick. I don't know. And then for an extra bonus, we will all be putting in one pop culture thing to go on the list. Something, it could be anything in pop culture that you don't like. Even a politician, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably well said. So, and obviously on Saturday, we're doing the highs and lows of AEW. This is a new feature which is coming to the Magic of Wrestling. We're gonna have a big discussion about 5 things which the fan base is obviously thinks are highs, and 5 which they think are lows. So, join us obviously tomorrow for the Magic of Wrestling, and obviously, of course, on Sunday with the All Effing Wrestling Show to end
And
your week.
and the name of that show is You Just Made the List.
Wow, I felt like Jericho vibes there. That was
Yeah.
really, really good.
Thank you.
Really, really good. Right then, so don't forget you can head to effingwrestling.com. You can find all our social medias on there. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. We're everywhere, right?
We're everywhere. And if you can't find us, we'll come to you.
Don't say that. That's really weird. Oh, dear.
Well, Liam's traveling across the ocean because Kevin wants him to help out.
And of course, if you want to shirt, we've got shirts absolutely everywhere. You can head to prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can buy yourself the All Effing Wrestling shirt, the Wrestler with the Paranormal shirt, the shirt which is
oh my goodness, that gets me every time.
It does. It does. It's really, really good. And of course, if you like old school wrestling, Canada's right. Tell them all about this.
Adrian Adonis's shirt. We run his shirt store. We're so lucky to have Adrian Adonis. So visit Pro Wrestling Tees / Adrian Adonis.
And of course, we've got a new batch of shirts coming out. It's probably one which I will be ordering at some point. It is this.
Yeah, I actually that flavor is one of my favorites. I don't have that one, but I think I'm gonna eventually have it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have shirts absolutely everywhere.
Yes, I do.
Oh dear, but this has been a really fun show. Do you know, I've never smiled so much in one show.
Yeah, laughter is definitely the best medicine, and that poo story is definitely the champion. Like, I love your duck story, and your duck story is inspirational, and it's like show making. But the poo story is like the trump card. It's just like boom.
Yeah. So, any final words from Canada? We'll try that again. Any final words from Canada Dry?
Other than my normal catchphrase. You want me to do my normal catchphrase?
You can say whatever you want. We'll end anything.
What? I can't do my normal. You don't like my normal catchphrase?
You can mix and match. It's entirely up to you.
All right. Remember to just keep fighting.
Now, normally I do a list, but do you know what? I'm going to mix and match. Do you know what? Rub-a-dub-dub. Everybody in the tub. Everybody loves a duck. Wait, what the hell? Where did you come from?
I'm always going to appear at the end of the show now, so
okay.
I'm here forever.
New partner. Take it away.
All right. So you got a list?
Yeah, I have actually. Do you want to start singing while I get my list up?
All right, so I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna sing and dance all day long. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear. Oh. Right then, yeah. So looking at my list here a second. Right, so we've got mowing the lawn, washing the dishes, selling bananas, ordering a pizza.
Oh, what's that list about?
This is apparently what pet monkeys are capable of doing.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a shit list.
No. We've had enough shit today.
Pet monkeys, that's nice. I like that. It's good for the environment. All right, everyone. See you later. Next week.